Welcome back. I'm Brandon, the HBAR Bull. As many of you know, I do some contract work for the HBAR Foundation, but I'm not here in any official capacity. I'm just personally getting behind what I think is a fun community initiative. To tell us all about it, we have a Saucerswap community member, Christian. Thanks for coming, Christian.
Enjoy being here. You might also hear me on the server as AF.
Okay, I gotcha. So the other person we have here today is Peter, that we welcome back from Saucerswap. Peter, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Peter, to kick it off, can you just give us a quick recap of what Saucerswap is?
Yeah, absolutely. So Saucerswap is a Hedera native DEX or decentralized exchange. Its design is based on the Uniswap constant product automated market maker, or AMM. So in this structure, liquidity providers deposit equal value parts of two tokens. In our case, they're HTS tokens. So you could, for example, Galaxy and Dofu. And an algorithm automatically makes markets for that pair. Then traders can easily swap between the tokens in the AMM, and they get guaranteed rates for the swaps. The incentive for providing liquidity comes from a 0.3% trading fee for each swap. 5/6 of that fee, or 0.25%, gets distributed to those liquidity providers as a payment for their work. So also those liquidity providers, we borrowed from a kind of sushi swap model, where they can stake their LP tokens and into farms, and they would earn additional yield. And this comes in the form of sauce emissions, which is where sauce ties in. Okay. So sauce is the protocol's native token. It's analogous, to HBAR to Hedera, basically. And the ultimate goal of Saucerswap is to be a one-stop shop for Hedera DeFi, offering features as a front-end bridge integration, single-sided staking, which involves sauce, and then a DAO-based governance model. And that's another aspect where sauce ties in is governance. So we will roll out a decentralized on-chain ballot and token-weighted voting system, in which the community can use their sauce, basically one sauce equals one vote up to a certain threshold, to dictate which features are implemented and in which order. The HTS project onboarding process, which we refer to as community pools, farms and farm weights, to name just a few functions.
Well, I know there's a lot of excitement about Saucerswap. Where is Saucerswap in development at this point?
Yeah, so for context, Saucerswap left the concepting phase roughly 6 months ago. Since then, our development cycle has been nothing less than a wild ride. We've assembled a solid team of developers. We led a successful funding round without the need for venture capital, which is was one of our main goals. And we formed some strong ecosystem partners, most recently the Hedera DeFi Alliance. In terms of product development, we are the first DEX, to our knowledge, to leverage the Hedera smart contract service to include Solidity smart contract integration with the Hedera token service, HTS. Our contracts have been audited by Hacken. We actually just got our final report like 5 minutes before this call, which we're excited to publish. And those contracts are ready to deploy on mainnet. Finally, one thing that I think is sometimes overlooked with DEXs is just the user experience and the UI. And that's something that's like really important to us. So we are polishing up some of the UI before our launch, but we're feeling really good about it.
Good stuff. So, Christian, let's get into why we're here today. Can you tell us about this sauce giveaway?
Yes, I'd love to. So the community pulled together 200,000 sauce from early investors. This was done organically and voluntarily without any grants from the dev team or Hedera. Since Saucerswap has no venture capital investors, its only seed round investors are all Hedera enthusiasts who believe in growing not only Saucerswap's network, but the Hedera ecosystem as well. This signals our enthusiasm for this pioneering DEX on Hedera and puts our own money and skin in the game where our mouth is. It is a significant sum of sauce, 0.1% of the entire equity at launch, even after a $2.3 million full fundraising raise.
All right, Christian, with the understanding that there isn't a current active market for sauce, can you give us a rough estimate of how much this giveaway is worth?
We'll pre-launch private sales between $3,000 to $6,000, or 1.5 to 3 cents per sauce. This equates to only a $3 to $6 million valuation of SaucerSwap currently. The future value is likely to be materially more and potentially life-changing. If you compare similar DEXs on peer layer one protocols, it gets really interesting. And these rankings are based on DeFi Llama. But SpookySwap, the number one DEX on Phantom, reached a market cap of 275 million last cycle. Trader Joe, the number two DEX on Avalanche, reached a peak market cap of 554 million last cycle. And Serum, the number one DEX on Solana, reached a peak last cycle of 1.14 billion. And then Uniswap, the grandfather of decentralized exchanges, and SaucerSwap source code peaked at 22.5 billion last cycle. Even in the current bear market, these peer number one DEXs on their respective layer one protocols still trade in above $100 million, and Uniswap at 2.5 billion. SaucerSwap is launching between $2 to $6 million valuation. So this is one of the rare opportunities to get in literally at the ground floor in a bear market with an asymmetric investment.
We're going to have two giveaways. It's going to be 100,000 for each, adding up to, of course, that 200,000 sauce. So good stuff. So Peter, can you explain the sauce token economics?
Yeah, absolutely. So I touched on this before, but sauce is the protocol's native token. It has a max supply of 1 billion, of which 1/5, 200 million, was initially minted as part of our initial supply. And the remaining 800 million is brought into circulation or emitted at a constant rate over the span of 3 years. So the majority of those sauce emissions are allocated to LP farm rewards, meaning a smart contract automatically mints those tokens and then sends them to yield farms, where I talked about this before, they're distributed to liquidity providers who have staked those LP tokens. So the idea here is it's of net benefit to both the user and the protocol. For the user, it helps to offset impermanent loss, which is the difference in value between holding assets in a liquidity pool and simply holding them in a wallet. It's offset by those sauce emissions. And then I talked about this before, but sauce, one of the main functions is as a governance token. So once we implement the DAO-based governance model, one sauce will equate to one vote, and users will be able to vote with their sauce about feature integration and that sort of stuff.
Okay, understood. So how do you think Hedera's efficiency and low fees are going to impact the Hedera DeFi space?
So the main thing that users will notice is just how fast, efficient, and cheap the protocols that run on Hedera are. Our DApp, we went through 2 bug bounty rounds on testnet, and I think we were, as pleasantly surprised as the community just how responsive and fast our DApp was running on testnet. So that kind of efficiency and responsiveness and ease of use really caters to 2 audiences. One is new users who will have a lower barrier to entry than, say, jumping into DeFi on a Ethereum-based DEX. One kind of pain point or obstacle there is just the fees can make the initial plunge quite prohibitive to, dip your toes in. And the other audience is existing users on other chains who are looking for a better, less expensive experience. So I think a parallel can be drawn from NFT artists on other networks migrating to Hedera, just because of the L1 benefits. But, overall, the value proposition is the same in the DeFi space. It's to builders and then also end users. And I think it will largely speak for itself just from users interacting with protocols on Hedera, specifically in the context of a DEX. Another point is, I touched in the first question about the how our DEX leverages the Hedera smart contract service along with the Hedera token service. Mm-hmm. But to elaborate on that point a little bit, so Ethereum and EVM compatible networks use the ERC20 standard for token operations such as minting, burning, and transfers. And here, the ERC20 tokens are themselves contracts. So they're beholden to the limitations of the Ethereum virtual machine. So anytime you transfer a token, the smart contract state has to change. On Hedera, however, token operations are performed on the Hedera token service. And this was made possible by recent upgrades to the Hedera smart contract service, which allowed the smart contracts to use HTS through EVM precompiles. And so it was possible to create a DEX using ERC20s on Hedera right after the Create2 opcode was supported on mainnet, which I think was in March or April. And we are seeing some upcoming Hedera DEXs lean into this ERC20 standard. But the ecosystem is now more amenable to tokens created by and controlled through the Hedera token service. And this really kind of represents the novelty of SaucerSwap. It's a significant differentiating factor for Hedera DeFi is leveraging the Hedera token service, and it really takes advantage of the native layer. I think it positions our protocol and any other protocol that leverages those native services to take full advantage of the predictable fee structures and some of the well-known benefits of building on Hedera.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hedera is always innovating and coming up with new things. They listen to the community through the Hedera improvement proposals. And as you mentioned, the HTS token, those native layer tokens, are going to come in handy across all kinds of different applications. All right, so the next question I have, I'm going to give this one to both of you guys, and we'll start with Christian. What has you most excited in the Hedera DeFi space in general?
First, I would like to say the development team, because they won't admit this publicly, but SaucerSwap dev team has been extremely fair in the tokenomics to all parties with no venture capital money involved. This is one of the reasons why I believe it's already the leading DEX on Hedera and has the support of the community and key partners, from Club HBAR, the community managers on our Discord, to the fellow founding members of Hedera DeFi Alliance, and to Team Hashpack. The dev team has no equity or coins to dump at launch. They are invested in a straight line for 3 years after launch, based solely on the success of the product they've created. That aligns not only the investors and innovators, but also the Hedera community. When all parties align with proper game theory mechanics, it's capitalism at its best. The pie grows for everyone, especially the product and end users' experience. I'm most excited to see the blossoming Hedera token marketplace flourishing on our DEX and Hedera as a whole. That's from future decentralized crowdfunding projects on Headstarter to DNS domain services with Web23 and real outside capital investment with enterprise adoption from our governing council members. SaucerSwap has the potential for a truly world-class platform without the hassle of expensive gas fees and network lag that comes with some other platforms. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. DLT, or distributed ledger technology, is creating the first new asset class, digital assets, in over 400 years since the Dutch invented the stock market in the 1600s. It's actually once in a multi-generational opportunity. Ask yourself which you prefer: investing in a new asset class with the most efficient technology, 74 times better than a Visa network, more energy efficient and secure than any other layer one DLT at only a $3 million bear market valuation, or buying a dilutive popular growth tech stock still trading at 15 times sales. The math is clear. You can hide in a bear market in a high quality, low valuation startup. The key is picking the correct one. SaucerSwap is the rare exceptions. Even with the stagflation of our world economy, interest rates don't apply to a $3 million SaucerSwap valuation, but they do at 100 million or plus. There's a saying, in a gold rush, which is what I believe crypto is going into, it's best to sell shovels, which is other crypto exchanges, than it is to dig for gold. As in any part of responsible investor strategy, it's important to have exposures to the winning exchanges, because it's a business model that's sustainable and profitable in both bull or bear markets. With US regulation likely coming Q1 of next year, you won't be able to get into a new business like this at the ground floor ever again without being an accredited investor, which is $200,000 a year income or 1 million net worth excluding your home. Opportunity cost is often the most overlooked in investing strategies. SaucerSwap is also a rare opportunity to be involved in something more than ourselves. Decentralization and Hedera's DLT will literally change the world. Cutting out the middleman in all parts of our financial economy will unlock trillions of wealth. And that's only the largest sector of GDP, financial services, at 22%. but also with the rest of economic services around a third of world GDP or $33 trillion is up for grabs. This is actual real wealth without any derivatives or speculation, and not including a store of value void of government or central control. With the recent failures of crypto finance, I believe most in the crypto community will turn to DEXs this next bull cycle to trust their hard-earned money with their own keys in their wallets like Hashback, not just centralized false promises. SaucerSwap will be transitioning to a DAO free from centralized regulation and any one party's control. This is the freer and fairer world we wish to see. Investing in new technologies is possible. It's possible to be too early. Being too early is the same as being wrong. We all feel this currently in this bear market, but don't be discouraged. The ideal investment timing is about 15% and a new technology's S-curve. I believe DLT technology is only in the second inning, so we're very close, if not already reached the optimal investment timing. Due to such low valuation, it's likely crypto will decouple from its equity correlation in the projects with high quality engineers building Web3 right beneath our noses. These type of opportunities don't come along often. I would encourage you to witness the hidden hand of the free market at launch if you still doubt that this is just another project. But don't doubt yourself. You, the community, have a large say in which projects get mass adopted. The judgment to see which ones have been funded by venture capitalists looking for a cash grab at Hedera's Defy Genesis moment. For Hedera to reach its self-sustaining critical mass of 300 TPS will require both enterprise adoption and the support of the crypto community and critical infrastructure like our DEX. We may have 2 or 3 years until the next cycle peak, but in the meantime, we can stake and compound, grow our equity. When you pick out the market's most hated, undercapitalized sector, which is crypto, and go furthest out on the risk curve, which is a startup, and then pick the most promising proven business model, which is a DEX, and a new network with the best technology and the highest quality and fairest engineers, I see SaucerSwap. I smell an opportunity in order of magnitude or two. So do you want to have exposure before or after institutional money and the crypto establishment realizes what real crypto utility can do to our economy?
Good stuff, Christian, and well said. And I agree with you. You know, in addition to this being a technological revolution on par with the internet, it is a digital gold rush at its heart. Cryptocurrency is money, and you know that's going to unlock the economic potential of billions around the world. So again, well said. What about you, Peter? What are you most excited about in the DeFi space?
Yeah, and just echoing Christian, well said. The way I like to think of it is, you know, Hedera can be thought of as a third generation DLT, right? Bitcoin and Ethereum being first and second. And it follows that applications built on Hedera will be on the cutting edge of Web3. So our team recently published a Medium article titled Hedera DeFi Overcoming Ethereum. And to summarize, we pointed out 3 major pain points of Ethereum native protocols. Those were prohibitive costs, low throughput, and a lack of fair ordering. So none of these issues present themselves on Hedera. The hash graph consensus algorithm is, you know, as you and I'm sure 90% of your audience knows, is first in class in terms of speed, 10,000 transactions per second throttled, you know, essentially unlimited with sharding, you know, accessibility, there's low predictable fees, which makes it easy for builders to build protocols on it. And something that we're really excited about is the fairness. So there's no concept of what's called minor extractable value on Hedera. This comes from that there's no mempool, which is present on an Ethereum-based protocol. So essentially, there's no bribes or exploitative backdoor arbitrage opportunities. There's no front running. So this is something that we're really excited about, and it just comes from the L1 benefits from Hedera. So I think it's no doubt attractive to enterprises, and that has been the focus in the past for Hedera, is catering to enterprises seeking to build on-chain applications. But I think it will manifest itself in a very tangible way for retail-oriented protocols and dApps such as SaucerSwap.
You know, that's a great point that, you know, Hedera, because it has those, you know, fair timestamps, it makes everything around it more fair, including these dexes. All right, so guys, thank you so much. And I'd like to move on to Christian and let him explain how people can participate in this giveaway.
First, follow SaucerSwap Labs on Twitter. Like, retweet, and tag 3 friends on the promotional tweet, and join the SaucerSwap Discord. The giveaway lasts 7 days and ends July 21st. 2 lucky winners will be chosen at random and receive 100,000 sauce each. Good luck.
All right. So again, you go to Dan Reed's Finance Twitter handle. He's going to be putting out this initial tweet. You go ahead and follow SaucerSwap Labs. You like and retweet that tweet and tag 3 of your friends. And then you also join the SaucerSwap Discord. Again, guys, thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to this giveaway.